Over the past 30 years, Poland has pulled off one of the most dramatic economic transformations of modern history. Here in Poland, they've seen a remarkable era of almost unbroken growth, having gone virtually overnight from communism to capitalism after the fall of the Iron Curtain, state ownership giving way to private enterprise. But is Poland still Europe's green island of economic growth? And if so, how long can it keep it up? I'm Claire Sebastian in Krakow, Poland, and this is Marketplace Europe. Since leaving the Soviet Union in 1989, Poland has quietly pulled up a chair at the top table of European business. In the early 1990s, the initial panic at the dramatic turn to capitalism caused near hyperinflation of almost 600% and high unemployment. But the dust soon settled, and by the mid-2000s, the golden era of the Polish economy began.
The year 2004, possibly, I would say, one of the most important years in the Polish history. In particular, 1st of May 2024, when Poland joined the EU. One of the, I think, the best decisions this country has ever made. And from this point onwards, we see almost a continuous, very strong growth happening in the country. At the beginning of our EU accession, Poland was still around 50–60% poorer than the West. So basically, there was no convergence in the 90s. But in the period from 2004 until 2024, so over the 20 years, we basically managed to close the gap by half.
The European Commission projects that Poland's real GDP will grow by 3.3% this year and 3% in 2026. With a strong domestic market and low labour costs, the Eastern European country has become an attractive destination for foreign direct investment.
Poland is the example of the country which is reindustrializing. So we see actually things being produced here, which are not only giving jobs to Poles, but also attracting a lot of talents from the neighborhood countries.
We're here on the outskirts of Krakow in a neighborhood called Nowe, huta, built in the 1950s as a model socialist utopia based around this, what was back then the Vladimir Lenin Steelworks, later renamed after the fall of communism to the Tadeusz Sędzimir Steelworks, after a Polish engineer. Now it's transformed into what the owner ArcelorMittal says is one of the most advanced steel rolling mills in all of Europe.
This is the furnace, again 1400 degrees, and it goes up.
Whoa.
It is very, very hot.
Well, it's absolutely boiling hot in here, and every time a slab goes past, you can literally feel the temperature rise. From slab to coil in 5 minutes. This ultra-automated facility churns out freshly rolled steel, ready to be transformed into paint drums, fridges, and dishwashers. Not for the faint-hearted, but then neither is today's steel industry. At its peak in the 1970s, this plant employed 40,000 people and churned out 7 million tons of steel a year.
It should be noted that the Krakow Steelworks, which today is an important branch of ArcelorMittal Poland, in the 1970s was a huge plant covering a gigantic area with hundreds of buildings, facilities and installations.
It was all part of Poland's then rapid state-led industrialization drive under communist rule.
It was not just a factory, it was basically the industrial ambition and political ideology of the party.
In the early 2000s, Poland joined the EU and the multinational ArcelorMittal acquired the steelworks. All day, all night.
3 shifts, 8 hours each, and then there is a 4 shifts in that, yes.
In 2020, the last blast furnace was closed, turning this sprawling industrial campus into a smaller, more high-tech finishing plant with just 2,000 workers.
So we have to adopt the plant to the current needs, same as Poland did. So this plant from the monument of industry is moving towards the model of sustainability and innovation. And so a bit the journey of this plant is similar to Poland transformation to adaptive, resilient and forward-looking approach.
Europe's steel industry is caught in a pincer grip. Crushing global competition on one side and the high-cost, high-stakes demands of the green transition on the other. That's why the European Commission has launched a Steel and Metals Action Plan to tackle these major challenges.
We lack the level playing field in Europe, so we have to compete with imports which plays with completely different rules. To produce 1 ton of steel, we need 2 tons of CO2 emission. This costs around 160 euro. This is the price. And we have to add on top of our products. And the products that are coming from outside the European Union, they don't have to pay that. So we are at very big disadvantages. That's why this business in Europe is shrinking.
Old and new coexist here at Nowe Huta. In this 1970s building, Soviet-era health and safety signs hang over giant magnets as they lift freshly heat-treated coils out of brand new hydrogen furnaces. And despite the urgent challenges, this is still a place with grand ambitions.
I hope that the Kraków also, and all this area, will look completely different, that we will have all these new investments around, and if you come in 5 years, you will hardly recognize the place.